What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a really strong chest on a budget for the tornado shot physical to cold conversion. This is kind of like the chest that you're going to make, that I'm going to suggest you make, unless you just have a ton of currency to spend. But obviously, you want something that you can play in that's going to be really strong, that's not going to take you an exorbitant amount of currency to wind up making it. Some of the items, we don't really have an option that's that strong that you can make cheap. There are some more difficult crafts for this build. Eventually, you might want to go for something like mine that's like double elevated, explodes, elevated percent life, tier 1 base crit, or even go even crazier. But, to give you an idea, just getting the T1 explode onto that base cost me about 10 EX. And my rerolls didn't go well. I don't even know how many rerolls I did. So many. But the point is, it can wind up costing you, 60, 70, 80 EX if something like that doesn't go well, or even more. Because you miss your elevation, and now you have to re-roll that all over again. I was really unlucky on getting the T1 for my first time, but that could happen to you, and then you could miss elevating, and you could wind up having that happen again, and then you don't even have an elevated mod, and you're like 20 EX deep, not counting your base cost. So something like this to start out is definitely going to be a good idea. And then if you feel like you want something more powerful, then you can move into that. But this is going to be the strongest chest for the investment. This is the chest that I would recommend for most people. What we're basically going to be going for is we're going to be going for dual influence. We're going to be going for percent life with T1 or T2 number to number life, and then we would accept something on the top, but ideally we'd like to do T1 life with crafted on dual mod. That would be good. And then on the bottom, we basically are like, we have to have T1 crit. That's a pretty big deal on the build, because we want to be able to get our crit close to 100% so that our multiplier is effectively multiplying our damage, and all that good stuff. So that is what we're going to be going for. To start it out, to get it to our initial place, we're just going to be using a bunch of single socket resonators and pristine fossils. So we're just going to start spamming it till we can get something that is acceptable to go forward with. Alright, so nope, 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 nope. So that's not T1, and it's a T2, so that was close. Close but no cigar. That was close but no cigar. We got T2 life, but we got T2 percent life. It was T1 life with T1 percent life. That would have been perfect, and we had the open slot. That would have been really good. That would have made it so we would have been able to have 20% life on top with 119 base life. That's kind of what we're going for. Obviously T1 would be better, but double T1 is going to make it less of a... So we got the T1 light percent life there, but we got a crappy number to number roll. There's T4. It's just not... you could be like, alright, I'm good with that, but I think that going for the really high... There we go, we got T2 with T2. You want T1 T1 or T2 T1? But you have to decide, for yourself what you're happy with. You might have been like, oh, I would have been happy with that. There's T2 T4. There's T1, but no percent life. Ooh, that's hard to put. We got additional curse. So this actually, I'm going to see if I can annul off that top, because this would wind up being a really good chest. We'd have 8% life and mana tier 1 number life and the additional curse. So that would be pretty amazing. And we remove the curse right away, so that is gone. Alright, so we got T1 life with T4. That's just not high enough. These rolls are fairly cheap, and since there is going to be since it is a fairly expensive base, I mean, like if you buy a perfect base and link it and add the influence to it, you know, it's probably, I think the estimated cost for linking is probably like 3 or 4 EX. Perfect base is going to be a decent amount, and then the cost of a Hunter's Exalted Orb, and then 30% qualitying it, which is like an estimated 1.5 EX. So if you're going to buy a really nice base, you're probably going to want, and then you're going to, you know, do further crafting. You want to start with the initial part that you're going to do with something really nice, you know. If I could have gotten an open slot, though, on the top with the extra curse, I definitely would have kept that, because it would have been 8% life, 8% mana, tier 1 number life, and an additional curse. That would have been pretty sweet. We're actually halfway through the 100. Okay, so we got tier 3. Oh wait, but we got the regen. And it's tier 2% life. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Got the tier 1% life again, but tier 11 life. We just need that winning combo. Tier 1 life. No percent. There's low life with 2%. There we go. T2, T1. Unfortunately it has a bad prefix. It's kind of like an empty slot. I'm gonna try to annul it, just because the amount that's invested as far as the top, and the finishing part's not going to be that bad. I really want to create a really nice item. So... Oh, no. I didn't hit it. At first, I thought I hit it first try. I was like, yes! Yes! Awesome! Alright. Okay, so now I need to do, so I have to do a blocker. So this is going to wind up being like a really, really nice chest. But at this point, we have to block this up. So the only safe way to continue forward with this chest so that I can craft, because the goal is I want to craft on the dual mod life up there. So I have to have an open prefix, but now I'm going to force on the base crit. So in order to do that, we're going to have to multi-mod, craft a stat onto the top, and then we also have to craft on prefixes cannot be changed. So in order to do that, we need one more mod gone from the bottom. The only safe way to do that is to craft prefixes cannot be changed, and then use a scouring orb, which costs 2 EX, but the alternative is I could craft prefixes can't be changed. Well, no, there really isn't an alternative. So, yeah, that's what we have to do. Okay. Well, you could craft on a mod on the top, and then you could get a prefixes cannot be changed and reroll, but it could wind up with 2 mods again, and then you're right back in the same situation. I don't want to lose these, so I'm actually going to hop in here real quick, because I've got the mods sitting there. Alright, so what we have to do now is we have to do prefixes cannot be changed, which will protect our 2 stats. Then we're going to use a scouring orb. Oopsies. Keep on pulling stuff out of the wrong spot. Dab back. Alright, so now I have to use a scouring orb, which this is going to just wipe all the stuff off the bottom. So now we've got our 2 mods that we want to keep. So now we're going to go ahead and put our base crit on there. So the base crit, the way that we're doing that is I'm going to go and show you so you can see what it is that I'm doing. So this is really nice, and this is something that you can pay attention to and use. That's kind of like a part of this craft, is we get our top really nice, we get that set up, which, you know, I think I used less than 100 resonators and fossils to get it to that point. You know, I had 2 chances. I missed the first one on the null, hit the second one. Realistically, I probably should have had to do it one more time. Like, the odds are that at 3 tries I would wind up getting it. Could take you less, could take you more, but that's not the bulk of the cost for the craft. So then what we're going to do, I mean, if you had something else good on the top, then you would just craft prefixes cannot be changed, and then you do harvest attack mod, and that would put your base crit on for you. So this is what I'm doing. The bottom doesn't have any attack tagged mods, and then on the hunter influence, because it's our only influence, there's only one that has attack. See, both of these tags have critical, so if you did a critical reroll, it would hit either one of these. So what we want is we want the tier 1 base crit, which is an equal chance as the tier 2, so it's a 50-50. So technically after 2 tries we should have it. Hopefully we hit it in 1, but if you were to do criticals, it would be a 1 out of 4. So you don't want to do that. I could have forced the curse onto it, but the thing about that is he's not online, and he already has a +1 curse on his amulet. I don't know if he's going to add a 3rd curse, and this is for his personal use. But if I wanted to, you could take and block the bottom and then force additional curse onto it. But he's still going to have that option with the way it'll be. But this is going to be the most useful chest for his build as it is, because he'll have 20% life, high number to number life, and he'll have the base crit, and then, you know, whatever stats go on the bottom. So that will make a really nice item. But then if he decides that he wants to force the additional curse on it, the way that you do that is block the bottom, then do prefixes cannot be changed, and then use a caster slam, which that would force the additional curse onto there. But we're going for defense crit chest. But I just want to put that out there, so if you want the additional curse there, that could free up your anointment, but he's already got a vol implicit additional curse. So the only way that he would actually want that it would be useful for him, is if he was doing, is if he went for 3 curses, which he may want to do, but I'll give him that option. I mean, that would be his option, but probably his next chest will be a chest like mine, so it's kind of moot point. We're just going to go for this finish. So I showed you, we're going to use the attack reroll. That's going to force the attack, but in order to keep the top safe, and you can't do, so like, your bottom has to be full, and you have to have prefixes cannot be changed in order to force the curse, just FYI. Otherwise, it can roll that spell crit, just like I'm forcing the base crit. So we have to do multi-mod, okay, so we have to do multi-mod. So we craft this, and then we have to block our top. Alright, we do prefixes. So we do prefixes cannot be changed. And then we have to block the top. So we can just craft anything on in the top. Prefix. So what we're going to wind up doing is, oh, you can't double it up anymore? No! No! What? Why? It used to let you do that. How could they change that? Oh, good thing I looked at that before doing this. Well, now I'm going to put the additional curse on it. That's crazy. Well, I'm not going to change it anymore because now what I want to do is I want to put the additional curse on it. Actually, we'll go ahead and farm that real quick. That should be really easy to get. I want to finish this. We're going to finish it. It'll only take me a short period of time to finish it, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go for it, so I'll show you guys how to finish it. But then I won't have my... I need an attack roll. I need those attack rolls. Alright, let me grab one of them. So I'll have 2, so I should be able to hit it with that. I guess we're going to force the additional curse on there, because I need that too. Alright, we'll put that in there. I guess I'll use up one of my... no, I want to save those. I'm just going to go to the next one. The attack mods are really common. I have one, and I might get one in the next one, but the caster is really common, and the attack's really common, so we're going to finish this. So the way that I get these is just basically using my Curics. For any of these common ones, you can just use Curic. I need to get these. I want to get these away from this. I don't want to have something funky happen. Maybe I'll just throw these all in here. Get away from my items. You're dangerous. They're not even my items. That would be really bad. So that really sucks. I mean, I guess it's good that you guys saw this, so you won't go for the double mod. That's really strange. They changed that without even saying anything, because last league I made an armor just like that. And also you can do it with excursion. You can still do that this league with excursion. So that's crazy that you can't mix influence with the crafted on, because that's syndicate plus an influence modifier. So that doesn't make sense to me. That's weird. It's really weird. Like, they had to update that mid-league because I made a chest like that. I don't know if I sold it yet. That's super weird. Well, I guess it's good to know, right? Alright, okay, so what we do is you can just use these rerolls. We just basically are going to look for a harvest, and this is how you can find all these crafts that I'm using, because they're all common ones for this. So you're obviously going to check to see if he has these. After you complete one of these missions, check what it is that he's selling. On harvest. It's funny because these were like super easy for me to find just before. It was like I rolled one time. I just had one. I rolled one time, got another one, completed one, and there was another one available. So I wanted to keep that the crit plus crit because that's a little rarer than these other ones. Man, it's like it knows what I want now. It's like, let's drag this out. Don't let him have it. I think I have a lot of these. Eventually it's got to give it to me. It's like, no, we don't. Ah, man, I really wanted to do the double up on life, but it's still going to be a really sweet chest. Probably be worth more, actually, to be honest. So then it'll be percent life, additional curse. He'll be able to sell it for profit when he switches to the other chest. So that's cool for him. Let's go. Speed, attack. Alright, so that attack will work. I need caster. Dude, if there's not a caster, I'm so sad. No caster? Really? You gonna really do that to me, man? Really? That sucks.
My mana is gone.
See if there's anything. Bond. I don't want to throw away the best stuff. I mean, I guess I'm gonna just have to leave this stuff. I don't want to make this video too long, me trying to get the correct thing. It shouldn't take me that long to find it, but I really don't want to ruin this video. Because I can't, like, I'm not going to delete the stuff and go back and craft it again. Oh, shit. That would not be cool, man. Alright. I'm just gonna use this for him. Give him a... Dude, that's nice on the top. Bottom 55. Bottom needs a better one. We'll go ahead and throw that for him. 56 and 49. And it really wasn't very good for lucky rerolls. Let's see. I'll just skip the rest of this. Let's spam these real quick. On to the next one. Alright, let's hope that we get another one. And hopefully we have a caster roll.
Long day.
I'm just gonna skip buying. There we go, harvest.
There's an odd sort of garden in this map. Can't make heads or tails in the reports.
Alright, only one harvest, let's go. So, this is a good reason to farm here, because you can get these harvests, like, really easily. So, take note, because if you need these, it's easier to do these, like, the ones I'm using, you know, like the attack mod, you've seen them in both of the last two. The ones I'm going to be doing for the quiver craft are crit plus crit, which you've seen in the last two. And then I'm just looking for a caster one for this. Come on, caster. There's no caster. What are the two wants? Viper grasp. 5X. Man, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, yeah, well, you can fast forward to closer to the end of the video. But basically the way that we finish this, I'm gonna craft one more stat on the bottom, and because I have prefixes cannot be changed, one more craft will completely block it, which then using a caster augment will force caster onto the top. Yeah. Can't believe it. No caster to reforge right here. Shit. I'm like trying to make it go fast, and I'm just messing up and making it slower. Oh my gosh. Dying multiple times. This is... I can skip the rest of this. I think I got it. Oh, did I not? And
My mana is gone.
let's see. Third time's the charm, baby. Third time's the charm. It's crazy, like, these are such common casters, so common, and not finding it. Knows that I want it.
There's an answer.
I really want to finish this craft, man. I want to finish this craft. Oh, that's like right here. Nice. Alright. Yes, caster. Okay, sweet. Okay, we only need one.
Don't let him make a mess.
Guy like appeared afterwards. Okay, so we've got the caster. All I need to do now is take and Exalt I traded. I need to put in my inventory. Okay, so all I need to do is craft craft on the last blocker. So we'll do that. So we're going to go suffix, doesn't matter what it is. So then we're going to do prefixes cannot be changed, 3 suffixes. Let's go ahead and hit this with the caster. There's our additional curse. Bam! Ba-bam! Alright, so now we're going to finish this item. Pretty simple now. We're going to do just, all we need now is just a block, and then we're going to be doing our reforges with attack. There's probably some attacks in here. I know I have one. Oh, that bypasses you now. Okay, so I have one. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to finish this item. We may hit the tier 1, we may not, but I want to finish this item now. So this item is pretty sweet at this point. Our top is amazing, but we need our base crit. So what I was doing by blocking the whole bottom and then doing prefixes cannot be changed is, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it was that I did right there. There is... Okay, here we go. So what I did right there is there's only one caster for the top, there's one caster for the bottom. We block up all the bottom and do prefixes cannot be changed. And then there's no caster here, so it makes it so that we get this, this winds up rolling on. The thing is it could be a 50-50, and if it could be a 50-50, like if, you know, I just craft on, if I just crafted on, say, the prefixes cannot be changed, it's 50-50, even if you just use a regular caster. It's higher if you use caster plus caster. The reason why is because when that caster mod is selected, it either says I'm going to put a caster top or I'm going to put a caster bottom. If it selects top, it automatically is guaranteed to give you the additional curse. And that's basically how it works, to understand how I did that. Now, our top's completely full. We're going to do prefixes cannot be changed, and the only thing that can come up is this is the only thing with attack mods. We want the tier 1 attack. We're going to use that because that's the only way that we can guarantee it. It will 100% be either the tier 1 or the tier 2. It's a 50-50 on each one. So we're going to do prefixes cannot be changed, craft, and I have 1. So we'll just go ahead and show that to you. Hopefully it'll come out the tier 1. Attack, craft, and that's the tier 1. Ba-bam! And we're done. And we wound up with a tier 4 resistance on it. Not the best, not the worst, but it's got an open suffix. So this armor, besides just crafting on last stat, is done. And that is very sweet armor. So it cost 5 EX for the base. Honestly, you're probably going to spend more because you're probably going to, if you want a perfect base, you're probably going to have to buy the perfect base. You're going to spend 1.5 EX for 30% quality. We'll guess high on that and say that those two things cost 2 EX. Then you're going to need the influence orb. I don't know what the hunter influence orb is. Maybe I have one in my inventory. Yeah, I do. So that is currently 1 EX. So that would put you at 3 EX. Socketing and linking it is going to be, what are fusings? So it says, so probably 3 EX you can guarantee a 3 link, so that would put it at 6 EX plus, you know, whatever it costs. It's like 400 fusings or something like that. So we'll call that, we'll just call it 4 EX on top. So that's 7 EX to get it as the base before we started. Probably a couple EX to get the initial 2 things on it, and we're assuming that for a decent amount of rolls, like in the probability zone that you're going to hit it. So we'll call that 9 EX. Once you have it to that point, if you had something on the top already and it's filled up and it's good, then at that point all you would have to do is 2 EX and slam on the the base crit, which you have a 50-50 of getting the tier 1. So we're going to say that that costs 4 EX because we're going to assume that it takes 2 tries to get it. So that would make it a 13 EX chest to have it finished with the percent life, the number increased maximum life, and percent life, number increased max life, and the base crit. So that's what I'm gonna suggest that you go for. The reason why I use the astral base just provides the most EHP. It also provides all resistances, which if you're going with a build that's more like mine, you will have a lot of attributes and you will get a lot of resistances from those, but you might not be capped. And it will also at lower levels make it so that you don't have to strap into points that are adding attributes. So it's a very nice thing to have. Plus with the way that the new influences work, they give you negative to resistances, so it's always good to be overcapped. So having 12% to all resistances is going to be pretty nice. So that is the finished craft. Too bad it went a little bit out, but we calculated that at 13 EX. So I'm gonna say like you should allot maybe like 15 EX because that was like the estimated value for each one of those crafts. So like basically guessing a little bit high. It's possible that someone could be really unlucky and not get in that range. But I would say that probably most of the time people will be able to craft the chest that I described for that much. The stat that winds up on there, like when you do this reroll and you get your base crit, that's kind of going to be a shot in the dark. One thing that I want to say is if you got the tier 2 and you're like, I absolutely want the tier 1, I want to reroll it, but it's full of 3 stats. The only way that you can safely do that is by getting a keep prefixes reroll. So I don't have a keep prefixes reroll. I do have an example. It's this chaos one. This would be the opposite. This one's for keep suffixes reroll prefix reroll the item. But basically that would give you a shot to reroll the item, and then you would be hoping that there was one open slot there, and then you would be able to once again craft on your prefixes cannot be changed, and then slam it. So that is how you would do that. Anyways, created another really awesome item. So I'm happy with that. Sorry for being a little bit long on a crafting video. I really wanted to do like the full crafts though, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and leave a like or share the video. If you're not yet and you stuck around this long, you should probably go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you aren't watching this on my stream, you can check out all of this crafting session so you can see everything that I did before the videos. That'll be up for 2 weeks. Or if you just want to catch me on stream sometime, twitch.tv/BigPowner. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace